Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a big video for you. I would like to announce my involvement in and the existence of Call of Community 3. For those of you that don't know, Call of Community is the biggest Call of Duty event in the year, at least on the YouTube side of things. All the YouTubers, commentators, pros, that sort of thing, snipers, they all get together for a really big charity event. Once a year, a huge charity stream, a kind of a charity tournament. Unfortunately, there hasn't been one this year. We were kind of missing out, but things are falling into place and Call of Community 3 might actually happen. I'd like to talk about the gameplay just a little bit before we move forward. I am playing Slums again. I ended up playing Slums a lot. I don't know why so many of my gameplays are on Slums, so I decided to change it up and use an LMG for once. I don't normally run LMG, so I just decided to run an LSAT, have a little bit of fun. I was going for swarms. I'm going to get a swarm later in the gameplay. I wanted to say that they're not particularly hard to get, and I actually had some comments on my last videos like, man, Drifter, you're bad. Why would we take tips from you? You're bad. And I'm like, well, I'm not normally going for swarms. I'm using pistols and goofy guns and that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to show you that they're not terribly hard to get. They take a little bit of patience. Usually a slightly overpowered gun like an LSAT here and a silencer, and you're well on your way. The most difficult thing about getting a swarm is finding an enemy team that won't just completely quit out on you halfway into the game. So let's get back on topic. I was previously working with the COD Showdown, if you don't remember that event, which was kind of similar to Call of Community, except it wasn't charity-based, and I got involved and I was going to make it charity-based, and I was working with Jen Pub Stomper, and we were getting our people on board, and we were signing them up, and we were getting ready to go. And you know, I thought, well, I'm basically kind of doing a version of Call of Community now that Eric the Aviator doesn't do it anymore, and I decided I'm going to hit up Eric. I am going to ask for his advice. I'm going to see what his opinion is. I'm going to chat with him, and we talked for a long time. He liked the idea, of course, because it's basically his idea. And I talked to him. He said he was okay-ish with me jacking his idea, not the name, of course, and we kept talking, and I got a lot of really good advice, things that I had never considered or thought of as far as getting money for the charity. And eventually I asked him, hey, why don't you come on board and help us? And okay, well, you know, Eric's busy, he's got his own thing going on, but he says, okay, you know, I'm going to come on board and help you, and we kept talking, and I was like, you know, if we're all here and we're all doing this, why don't we just do Call of Community 3? And that one didn't go over quite as well, but we talked for a while, and eventually we decided to do Call of Community 3. So what was the COD Showdown is now gone, and me and Jim Pub Stomper are changing our efforts away from the COD Showdown, and we picked up Eric the Aviator, and we are now working on Call of Community 3. There was a Call of Community in Black Ops 1, there was a Call of Community in MW3, but I don't think there's going to be one in Black Ops 2. We're a little bit late into the COD life cycle to be doing this in Black Ops 2, and it's a little bit too late to sign people on and to get the event going and make it as big and successful as it needs to be to raise a significant amount of money for the charity. However, Call of Duty Ghosts is just around the corner, and we talked about it and we decided on a date sometime either in later-ish January, early-ish February, something like that. One of these days ought to work good for us, somewhere in that little time span after Christmas, after all that sort of craziness has calmed down. So the goal is to get a Call of Community 3 ready to go relatively early into the cycle of Call of Duty Ghosts, and to have it be a really big event. Currently, the first phase is we're trying to get back all of the YouTubers, pros, snipers, everybody that's possible, all of the old names that you've heard, all of the new people that have kind of grown up in the community since then, and it's going to be a huge event. And that's kind of probably the hardest part about all of this, is signing on everybody and making sure we've got a good date and that it's not conflicting with any MLG or UMG or Call of Duty event, and that everything is good to go. The old one broke all-time records on Twitch, I believe. I'm not sure if it was the biggest Twitch stream ever at the time, definitely the biggest Call of Duty Twitch stream ever at the time, but it was a really huge thing. That's back when Twitch was not what it is today. So the goals and expectations for Call of Community 3 is again to sort of break all-time records on Twitch streaming, and maybe we could break into that League of Legends / Dota level streaming for their sort of championships and raise as much money for charity as possible, because the more people that are watching the charity stream, the more donations you're going to get, the more sort of charity product buying you're going to get, the more, actually, well, the views themselves are valuable. We just donate the money straight from the stream to the through the charity, which we haven't announced yet. We're going to announce the charity later, working on that. We could use the same one before, we could get a new one. you got to try to find a charity that runs very efficiently. Unfortunately, the problem with charities these days, or charitable corporations for that matter, is that they don't run 100% legit, or they don't spend enough or of their money toward actually the programs that they say they do. Sometimes some charities only spend 1% or less of the money that are going toward curing cancer, or shoes for homeless children or something like that, on the actual shoes or the cancer research. So we're trying to find one that has a really high, preferably like 95 to 99% program or donation rate, where the money that you put in really goes just to doing that, and only a very minimal amount on administration, those sort of things. So we're in that process, so I will announce the charity later, and I hope to see you there. I hope you're excited about this as I am. I know my voice isn't one that usually conveys a lot of excitement. I'm not Mr. Excitement, more like Mr. Monotone, but I'm kind of excited. Perhaps nervous would be a different one, because for once I'm part of an event that's much bigger than myself, and I feel like, I don't need to feel on this one. I pretty much know that I've bit off more than I can chew. I have no idea where I'm going on this one, what I'm doing, what I should be doing. But we're all going to try to get there together. We're going to try to make it a big event, a fun event, and hopefully a very profitable event for whatever charity that we decide to work with. And hopefully that money and this community can, pick themselves up a little bit, better their name, help out a charity of choice, thirst relief, direct relief, cancer research, AIDS research, breast cancer. Probably not going to do pets or animals, because some people are funny about that. And here comes the swarm and canines. They just mop up right here. We actually had a large number of people in the game when I called them in. Some of them are going to quit. New group's going to come back in, and they're going to continue getting swarmed and dogged into oblivion. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the gameplay at this point. It's pretty obvious that we won, and I've talked about all that I want to talk about. And I hope that I see you in Call of Community, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Drifter out.